Hi guys, welcome back to this set of lessons where we're breaking out of the pentatonic box. My name's Dan from Your Guitar Academy and we're working together with Wampler for this video series. Now, we've been talking about exactly that, how to break out of the pentatonic box, very much taking the shape 1 and looking at different ways to just subtly change it or change your thought process to suddenly create some new sounds without totally learning something massively new, okay? Now, we've looked at kind of arpeggios and slightly different scales on top of it, and we're going to do more of that. But for now, I want to try something a little different, okay? We're going to try one-string pentatonics, okay? Now, when you hear someone like Derek Trucks play, for example, or slide players, you can see they very much use the guitar going this way, so going across the neck, rather than, as a lot of guitar players do, going up and down the neck. You know, so these boxes that we learn, they go up and down the neck. And that's why you suddenly find yourself quite restrained within them, because you're in a little box, in a little space on the neck, and there's less fluidity going across the neck, okay? So the idea here is to simply take the pentatonic on one string, okay, and to start having a bit of fun with that using your slides and your vibrato to make something a bit more vocal sounding, okay? So let me show you a quick example. So what we're going to do, we're going to practice this in A minor, okay? So the first thing you must be able to do if you're going to try this is you need your 5 pentatonic boxes. So you need shape 1, shape 2, shape 3. I'm not going to go through them all with you now, but you should have all 5 pentatonic boxes along the neck. If you haven't done that, then that's the first thing to do. Just go away and do that first. Now, once you've got that, the idea here is pick a string. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the G string, okay? And all I'm going to want to do is, as I go across, I need to visualize all 5 shapes. Okay, so for me personally, I'm going to kind of kick off around the pentatonic shape 1, but there's also shape 5 back here, remember. So the notes that I'm going to be using look like this. And then back. Okay, and the cool thing here is that that's actually A, so that's a root note, so that's a good place to start and end. But what I'm thinking as I go through that, and this is an important part of visualizing what you're supposed to be doing, is I'm thinking pentatonic shape 5, shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, shape 4, and then back in shape 5 again. And on the way back, I'm thinking and visualizing exactly the same thing, okay? So the cool thing here is that we're using the exact same notes in the pentatonic. So we're not altering any notes, we're not thinking of any arpeggios or any scales on top of it. It's the exact same note, but it's going to sound really cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to demonstrate a little bit and then talk you through it a little bit more, okay? So I'm just going to lay down a really quick kind of rough sound in A minor, okay? It's going to go something like this. So here's the looping station, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to loop that. All right, a little kind of A minor groove. Now, first things first, let's just be basic about this. Let's just play through. The essential 5 notes of the pentatonic, okay? So, to be honest, doing it like that doesn't sound too much different from me kind of oops, like that, because it's kind of similar. We're still just picking through every note and so on. The power of when you do across the string is you can start to use slides very effectively. Have a little listen to this. Starting to get a more vocal quality here. Now, talking through what I'm doing, basically, I'm using this idea of slide and vibrato. And not just any slide, grace note slides. So rather than going, okay, which is like 2 notes per slide, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, I'm doing quick notes, okay? So you don't really even hear this first note, you just fly onto it, okay? And the little sequence thing that I'm trying to put together is playing the note that I'm going to get to, going back to the pentatonic note before it, and sliding back into that note, okay? Like this. which is a cool sound, right? And if you just do that a little bit, so remember, we play the note, we take the note before it, and then we slide quickly. Okay, so a grace note slide, that's not a beat, it's all in the same beat, so it's not two beats, I should say, it's all in the same beat. We start to get a more cool sound, suddenly it's like, I know this is pentatonic, but it sounds a little different, right? And the other thing I'm doing is I'm doing that extensive vibrato. Kind of like you would on the voice, typically. This is why we're trying to make it a more fluid, a more vocal sound. And the more you do without actually picking, again, the more vocal it sounds, and the more it changes the vibe of the pentatonic. And so on. Okay, so let me just stop that for a second. So this is a cool idea, and it's something that takes a lot of practice, believe me, because even though it's something you're very familiar with, the pentatonic scale, this whole idea of sliding and doing that extensive vibrato and doing it across the neck really adds a lot of new skills to your kind of playing, essentially. So it's something I think you guys, can have a lot of fun with practicing. Just get a little backing track on. Again, don't just do it in A minor, try it in various keys, but start in one key. Okay, so if this is totally new to you, then just kick off in A, because typically people know the A minor pentatonic boxes across the neck better than any other. I think it's just because everyone kind of learns the A minor when they first start. So do it in A, and do it just on one string to start with, and just as you're going across, remember, you're visualizing what pentatonic am I underneath at any point. And to really add to that, if I put that back on, at any point you should be able to stop yourself. So I'm going to do a nice bit of cool playing. And I'm going to stop myself here. I now actually want to move up through the pentatonic shape again. So you need to stop yourself and go, what pentatonic shape am I in here? Shape 3, cool. Off I go, okay? So, the kind of process is you pick the key, you learn it all on one string, you make sure you visualize it as you go, try and test yourself, so stop, try and find the pentatonic, and then carry on with this kind of slidey effect, and then try it on a different string. So then try and go to the D string. Can you visualize it on the D string and do the same thing? And then gradually add more and more strings, and once you've got that all together, you then start changing keys, but we'll get to that another time. So, hopefully this is something that works for you and you think sounds good. Just imagine you've got a slide on your finger. That's what I always do. If I ever put a slide on there, this is exactly how I'll play, just kind of sliding it up and down the neck, and it creates this kind of cool vocal quality. So, hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you next time.